Hi there, and today I'll be explaining the difference between nodes at the object level and at the SOP level, that is also the geometry level in Houdini. And this is a concept where every beginner gets stuck. So I will be making it simple and I will like explain it so you can understand it better. So at first, I'm in Houdini and you see there we have our node editor and our view window. I minimize the menu bar from here, the toolbar, and our animation window, also the parameters. And if I want, I can bring the parameters by hitting our shortcut, which is P. So we don't need. So to explain what a node does at the object level, I will give you an example. We are at the object level currently. So let's create a sphere. To create a sphere, first we have two options. First, we can hit tab and create a sphere directly at the object level, and we have a second option, which is a kind of the proper way. We hit tab and we create a geometry node. Okay, geo node first, then inside this we create a sphere SOP. Now everything we do at the geometry level, right now we are in the object level, right? You see we are in the object level, and by double clicking on each node we are at the geometry level. Now first very important thing, and this is where every beginner gets stuck, but I will explain it. So at this object level, you see we have two nodes, right? And these nodes are just containers. Everything we do inside Houdini at this object level, we have separate independent objects. This node is acting as a separate independent object, and this node is also acting as a separate independent object. You can translate, rotate, scale, and everything inside this node will translate, rotate at the same time, because this is a separate container. This is just a container, and inside this we have a sphere SOP, which is a node. SOPs are surface operator which creates or modifies the geometry. So this node, which is a SOP, what this SOP is doing, this SOP is creating a geometry which is a sphere, right? And this geometry is a type of mesh, right? And like, what is a mesh? Mesh is everything that is made up of polygons, right? For example, let's create a line, right? And now we are not seeing the line because it's turned off, its display is off. So to see our line, just hit this blue bar and you can see our line. Now this is a geometry, but this is not a mesh because it's not made up of mesh. It's not made up of polygons, right? We have two vertices, but no like polygon. So let's just delete this, and let's talk about how is this is different than this we created, the sphere we created at the geometry level. And the thing is, they are both the same. When you created a sphere at the object level, what Houdini did for you, it created a geometry container. Inside the geometry container, everything you work with are SOPs, which are surface operators. They will modify or create your geometry, right? So when you created a sphere at the object level, Houdini created first, it created a geometry container for you. Inside this container, it created a sphere SOP for you, which is creating a geometry which is a sphere. So these both are same, And the main thing here is these two acting as an independent object. So inside this container, which is just this node is just a container at the object level. Inside this, we are at the geo level. And when I rename this at geo2, this is just a container, right? This is a geometry container. Now it's just a geometry container. Inside this, here we have a node, an SOP node, and what this is doing is just creating a sphere. Let's create a box. Let's create a cube, right? Now this container has two SOPs, right? Two nodes which are creating a sphere and a box simultaneously, right? But when at this geometry level, they act as a separate geometry. They are not together. They are together at the object level, right? But at the geo level, they are acting as an independent geometry. But they are part of a single object, which is our geo2. So at the object level, when I translate this, let's first go to at the geo level and just change its center so we can see them both. So now at the geometry level, when I want to translate this container, which is acting as an independent object, so I want to translate this. When I am hitting the translate key, you can see inside this, wait, first when I am at this geometry level, I'm seeing only this. This is active. This is acting as an independent geometry, and this is acting as its independent geometry. But if I want to see these both, first, for now, this is visible and this is hidden, but I can see it right here. So if I want to like see them both, I have to merge them because they are independent geometries. To create them one geometry, I need to create an SOP, right? So let's create a merge node. Now, when I merge this and this together and I toggle this on, now what Houdini is doing, it is creating a merge node. Now we are seeing them together because they are merged. So for right now, this independent geometry and this independent geometry are now a single geometry. This SOP, what this SOP is doing, this SOP is merging both the geometry into one, right? This is a SOP node, but its output is a geometry which is merged, right? This sphere and this box are merged now, and it's a part of the single geometry. So at the object level, when I want to translate this, so now when I want to translate this, what I can do is just hit the translate key and they both are translating together. What this means is at the object level, they are acting as a single object, but at the geometry level, they are they are independent geometry, but they are now merged. So let's delete these two. What I told you is when you create a sphere at the object level, it is not like different than a sphere you created by going inside the geometry and by creating a SOP, which is creating a sphere. So these two both are same. This is just this is just a shortcut to create a sphere, but like by default it also creates a SOP inside the geometry node. That's it. I think it's all covered. Now you have a clear picture what the node does at the object level and how they are different at the SOP level. And I want to add something to this. Like when you go inside the geometry level, and whatever you create, you are using SOPs, which can transform or create your geometry, right? So it also transforms the attributes of your geometry, right? You can create an SOP which can like transform the attributes. So it will work as a tool, right? So let's create color node, and when you connect this and you change its color to something like red, right? And now when you toggle this on, you would see node this node is affecting its color, which is an attribute, right? So SOP can also like change its attributes, right? So in at the object level, they both act as a single object. This container and this container are a single object at the object level. So I think this is it for the video, and in the next video we will talk about something else, right? So stay tuned. Bye bye.